Greetings, River Lady here, and I'm going to do a video on my butterfly bush, which is also known as Buddleja. Buddleia originated in China and it's highly invasive. So if you have a butterfly bush in your garden, 1 or 2 or 3 or many, you need to be very mindful of how you tend it so that it doesn't take over and crowd out the natural vegetation. Because the thing about Buddleia, and it's actually considered invasive in about 20 states in the United States, is it is not a host plant to our pollinators. Our pollinators, our butterflies, take the nectar from the flowers, but they don't use the plant on which to lay their eggs. Their caterpillars don't eat the plant. So for example, if you're trying to attract monarchs to your yard, planting a butterfly bush, yeah, you might get monarchs that are going to drink the nectar, but you're not giving them any place to lay their eggs or any place or any food source for their caterpillars. And that is a big part of the butterfly's life cycle, is the caterpillar. The nectar that the animals are getting, the insects are getting from the plants, is like us drinking sports drinks. It has electrolytes in it, but we would not be able to survive on just sports drinks. And insects can't just survive. Hummingbirds can't just survive, so birds too can't just survive on nectar. They need protein, carbohydrates, and fats, and that's what they get from plant tissue, or in the case of birds, they get from eating insects. So butterfly bushes, also known as summer lilacs, are great bushes. They're pretty. They come in a variety of colors, but they're highly invasive, and they crowd out the natural plants that our pollinators would use. And I'm going to put a link at the bottom of this video where you can actually find native plants that your pollinators for your state would use. And you want to add those plants to your gardens along with your butterfly bush. For example, you see my butterfly bush here. Yes, you do. But I also have in my garden milkweed. And you can see my milkweed right there. And the monarch butterflies lay their eggs on the milkweed, and the caterpillars of the monarch butterflies will eat the leaves of the milkweed. So the milkweed is a great plant to have in your garden if you want to support the life cycle of our pollinators. And milkweeds also attract ladybugs. So what do you do if you decide you want to grow a butterfly bush? Well, you want to be careful because each flower stalk can produce close to 50,000 plants. When you get flower stalks such as this, you want to actually take that off. As soon as the flower stalk is mostly brown, even if you have some flowers at the tip, don't need to take these stalks off. Now, most Buddleias bloom on new wood. When you do this, you are going to encourage the plant to produce more flowers, which is awesome. So you'll keep your plant blooming and you'll help to reduce the chance of little baby Buddleias forming in the area around you. So we're going to take this stalk and either burn it, if you're allowed to do any burning this time of year. Right now it's early August. Or we're just going to put it in, I'm going to put it in the trash. You're not going to. I'm going to put it in the trash. Don't compost it because you'll get baby Buddleias. Buddleias pollinate pretty much using the wind. Their little seeds are winged. They have little teeny wings and they fly on the wind. Baby, all right, let's do another one. All right, and I'm going to do that to all these spent flower heads. Okay, so that does it for pruning the plant. Now what you can do is when you're finished with your pruning, you can just get down at the base of the plant and just rake, but you don't really have to this time of year. If you're just taking off these spent flower stalks, you don't really have to get down and rake if you do normal weeding. At the end of the season, you do want to rake under the plant and you want to give it a fresh layer of compost. You don't want to cut a butterfly bush back until the spring. Their stems have a hollow center, so if you cut them back, especially if you're in the colder zones where you have cold winters with freezing temperatures. If water gets into the stem, it will get down into the base of the plant and it will damage the tissue and it could kill your plant. Cut your butterfly bush back in the early spring. When you just see it to start to leaf, then you want to cut it back to about 6 inches or so. You can see where I made my cuts last spring. Now, as I think I already mentioned, most butterfly bushes bloom on new wood, so cutting it back is great because it rejuvenates it. You don't have to cut it back. Some people like their butterfly bushes to get huge and take over. That's fine. Just be mindful to prune off those spent blossoms. So I think that's all I wanted to tell you about butterfly bushes. Oh, new cultivars that are on the market are sterile. You can go ahead and plant those and not worry about those butterfly bushes sending out little baby butterfly bushes into the world. Butterfly bushes do need a lot of sun. They want at least 6 hours of direct sun. They don't need to be fed continually. I give my butterfly bush compost in the spring. Right when I cut it back, I give it a layer of compost and work that in, and then I will be giving it some more compost when I'm ready to put it to bed. And that's pretty much it. And if I could, oh gosh, I hope I can. There's a hummingbird over there on my zinnias. So this is River Lady saying happy gardening and thank you for watching. Bye.